business today. And Thursday, drum rolls, it's about captains of industry. ALLAN Kilavuka has over 22 years of working experience. He is currently the Managing Director and Chief Executive Officer at Jambojet. He speaks to Brenda Kerubo on these weeks, captains of industry.
ALLAN Kilavuka started his career at Deloitte and then General Electric, where he held various senior leadership positions in their sub-Saharan African businesses before joining Jambojet. Kilavuka has experience in strategy, business development, leadership, startups, financial planning, and analysis.
So it's about 10 months since you took over the helm?
Round about that. Round about that, yes.
How do you break barriers?
How do you break barriers? Well, it's relationships. It's relationships. I pride myself as being a relational person. The beauty about Jambojet, it's also a relation company. So people are very easy to mangle, talk to. People are very receptive of new ideas, new people. So for me, you break barriers through relationships, genuine, authentic relationships.
What are some of the myths and the realities when it comes to low-cost carriers?
Yeah, so first of all is just that definition of low cost, okay? So typical low-cost carriers are, in that sense, low cost. In other words, their base costs are actually low, so they can transfer that low cost to their passengers.
When you first took over the job and comparing it now,
yeah,
is it everything that you imagined?
It's more. It's more. It's more because, first of all, of course, I'm new to this industry, so I had my apprehensions. But it's more because the people that I found here were experts in the field, and they were very receptive. So the beauty about this company is that in as much as it's very highly regulated, it's actually quite complicated, it's very volatile. At the same time, the people in the industry, the people in this company are also very nimble. So it's easy for them to flex, even with the constraints of regulation, within the constraints of volatility, within the constraints of the very rigid nature of the industry. So that's the beauty. So for me, that's why it was more, because it was easy for me to fit in because of the people that I found here and the way we're working together to develop both the company and to grow the people.
But what are some of the mistakes that you made, let's say, in your third week?
Yeah, so the first thing is, prior to coming here, this is a very public company. So I was in a private company, very private company. So I was not at the forefront. Now, I used to dish out my business cards left, right, and center. So what I quickly found out is that in this industry, people are very aggressive, especially the suppliers. So because I was very freely giving out my business card, all of a sudden there was an avalanche of suppliers coming to me and asking me for this or that and the other. And so quickly I came up with a way of protecting myself against...
Did you change your number? Did you change your phone number?
No. But now what I've done, I didn't change my number, but I learned how to kind of create boundaries, because otherwise then I don't get to do anything. There's an avalanche of people trying to get to me. Yeah.
And what are some of the qualities of an effective leader, especially going into 2020?
Yeah.
What will the 2020 leader look like?
Yeah. So for me, there are a few things. So first of all is even to define the word leadership. Because there are two types, in my opinion, this is my opinion, there are two ways of leading. First is leading people, including yourself, and then leading functions. Okay? Those two are leaders. So if you really think about it, everybody is a leader, or should be a leader. So you start with self-governance, creating self-discipline so that others can mimic you. It's really about how do you influence people through yourself. And then functions. How are you organized? How do you organize things so that people are clearly understand where the organization is going, if it's, in my case, or even if it's a department, or even if it's a project that you're leading. So how are you articulating the vision of that project? And therefore people are able to follow you. And then how do you flex? Because things are changing so quickly. How are you able to change with the times? And how are you able to change with the people, circumstances, different people, you're dealing with different types of people. So the challenge of leadership is, because it's easy to manage a project, it's much more difficult to manage people or to lead people. Like I said, this industry is very, very difficult. The margins are very thin. And so any small mistake, you lose big time. But at the same time, of course, when you make the right move, also you gain big time. So the idea here is, how do you quickly change and make sure you take advantage of things that can advantage you?
What should you not do in a job interview?
What you should do, let me say what you should do. What you should do is be yourself, and therefore what you should not do is not be yourself. That's what I meant. And you really need to think about, how do you package yourself as you, okay? Because everybody has a strength. I believe that if you pretend, or if you're somebody you're not during an interview, you might get hired, but then you're most likely going to get fired, or you'll not grow in that role. But if you actually present yourself as who you are, the best of you, then you may not get a job, but you'll probably get another one, or you'll be recommended for another position elsewhere by the person who's interviewing you. And the current generation needs to think about, what is the organization looking for at the same time. So we meet somewhere in between, and we can get the best of both worlds.
Allan,
Yeah.
thank you for giving us the best of you.
Thank you. Thank you very much.